how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be a 2 looks video with the Glamlite and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 palettes. I'm so excited. I am probably Twilight's biggest fan. I feel like Twilight just means so much to me. I've read those books so many times growing up. I actually want to reread them as an adult. All I've read as an adult is, what was it called? Midnight Sun, the version in Edward's perspective of the first book. That got me through, was it the end of 2020? But I've watched the movies more times than I can count. I probably quote something Twilight related at least every other day. The ColourPop Twilight palette means a lot to me. I didn't end up picking up the new Moon one when it launched. Now it's out of stock, but once it comes back, if it comes back, hopefully it comes back, I will pick that one up as well because I feel like I need it. I need it in my life. I love it. I love it so much. The whole theming, everything. So when they were teasing this collection, I was really excited. And then by the time they got to the reveal, I knew I had to have the palettes. So I'm going to be doing 1 look with each palette today. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy I treated myself to these. So on top of the 2 palettes, I did also get the wedding highlighter, mostly just so I could get free shipping. I didn't need the full collection, but I did decide to give this highlighter a whirl. Packaging is so cute. It says like, I'll meet you at the altar with the lenticular packaging. Then you open it up, it says I do, and it is just the most sparkly, wet looking highlighter. So pretty. I definitely have things similar in my collection. Did that stop me from getting this one? No. Again, I did want the free shipping, but also I am a sucker for this kind of a highlighter. If I can only have one highlighter at all, it's gonna be something wet looking and sparkly and just glistening. It's just perfect. It's so pretty. I'm really excited about this. And then of course the palettes, the boxes that these come in, I will keep forever. These are gonna live in my little library. Like these are so cool. You open up the Team Edward one and we have the palette sitting inside, and then we have the quote, "No measure of time with you will be long enough, but let's start with forever." So cool. And then the palette itself, we have kind of that lenticular switch between the 2 different scenes going on for the Team Edward palette. And then on the inside, we have 15 shades of loveliness. We have smoky blue, smoky purples, pops of red, smoky grays. So pretty. I will say this is very reminiscent of a lot of the like Halloween-y palettes they've done in the past. Like I can't say they're exactly the same because I don't own those palettes in particular, but very reminiscent in my opinion. Does make me glad I didn't have those because I don't feel like it's repetitive for me to own this one personally. But this is really pretty. The sparkles on these shadows are so lovely. I'm really excited about it. And I will say too, obviously I'll get into my thoughts as I'm doing the looks and my final thoughts at the end, but I did also want to go into this a little bit hesitant just because I've had kind of hit or miss luck with Glamlite in the past. I haven't tried really that many of their things compared to the amount of stuff they've come out with over the years, but I feel like out of what I have tried, I've kind of had a mixture of quality. Like sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not so great. So I was really hoping these would be great. So far, I've filmed look 1. So far, so great. I'm really excited about that. So thank goodness everything seems to be good so far. And then we have the Team Jacob palette, and Zane cracked me up, my husband, because he was like, why doesn't Jacob get a quote? But again, we do have kind of the cool lenticular packaging. I do like that the 1/2 is his wolf side. And then, yeah, so pretty. I love the color scheme of this. Honestly, this palette stuck out to me the most. I love this. It is murky, earthy, so pretty. I love these very grungy earthy browns with the greens, this pop of like tealish color, even this like weird mauvey gray color. It's all really cool. This is just so pretty, epitome of like grungy earthy vibes. It is so cool. I'm really really excited to dive into this one because as of right now I've only filmed look number 1, so really excited to dive into this for look number 2. So yeah, that is the overview of the palettes. We're gonna get into the looks. I'll give you my final thoughts so far at the end, but yeah, for now, let's just hop into these Breaking Dawn Part 1 palettes. Hi friends, welcome to this video. We're in it. Look number 1 is gonna be with the Team Edward palette. I'm very excited. I'm just so pumped. I'm so pumped that I'm here right now. I feel like the soundtrack is just playing in my brain right now. Earrings of the day, Spooky Doodle Club. Had to go with the blood bags. Like not only blood because vampires and Edward, but like Bella literally like starts drinking blood out of a styrofoam cup in this movie and the book. So I just felt like it was the most appropriate. And then this is just an old basic choker. No clue where it's from. But I do also have the highlighter. I didn't buy the whole collection, but I did buy both palettes and the highlighter. Obviously, we've already talked about this in the intro, but I have the wedding highlighter. And we're gonna wear it for both looks. So let's put it on. I'm gonna use my Singe F07 brush. Just gonna dip right in there and see how I feel. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. That is so glossy and so pretty. About a month ago, I did like a use it or lose it style video on my channel where I just took like various products in my collection and kind of gave them another try, like things that I was either unsure about or maybe didn't think I liked anymore. And one of them was a highlighter from the Good Guys collection from Glamlite, and I felt like it just looked like dry sparkle. So I ended up not keeping it anymore, but this doesn't look dry at all. That's actually so pretty. This is like one of my favorite kinds of highlight ever. Just sparkly wetness. That is gorgeous. This is the skin of a Killer Bella. So far, so good for this video. Feeling great so far. I'm gonna prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I wanna do a very like smoky bluish purple look today, and I do want a red lip. I feel like that'll just kind of take it over the edge. But I want to focus on like the blues and purples in this palette. I just feel like that'll be nice. She's just so cute. So, so cute. So I think I am going to start with Mind Reader, this dark purple. I'm going to use my Sigma E27 brush. And I'm just going to start like really packing it in the outer corner. I'm not really going to like drag it or blend or anything like that. I'm just going to pack it here in this outer corner. I want a lot of depth and darkness on the outside. And then I want it to get lighter as we get toward the inner, for just like a nice smoky vibe, you know? So kind of like that, just kind of inching it up and out. Nothing too crazy here. I'm gonna take Lion now, this soft purple. I'm gonna use this fluffy brush from Simply Posh, and I'm gonna use the very end of my brush just so I have light pressure. And I'm just gonna very softly and lightly start kind of flicking it outwards on the edge of this dark purple, just to sort of stretch it out, blend the edge a little bit. I still want to keep it very dark and dramatic, but I just want to start stretching it outwards, almost creating like a little bit of a hazy wing, but like not really. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just blending it outwards. Just kind of stretching it that direction. Moving on, I want to take Forks, the black, just to add some smokiness to this look a little bit more. Actually, no, I take it back. I am going to use that, but I'm going to start with an eye pencil. This is Outer Space from Milk Makeup. I just want to start by getting this lower lash line like super smoky, just very black and dark and dramatic before I add in the shadow. That's stunning. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of Forks on this teeny pencil brush from Simply Posh, and I'm going to just sort of drag that over the eye pencil just to get it a little bit softer, a little bit more blurred. I'm also gonna add some of this just to the outer corner of the lid as well, just to, again, just add a little bit of extra smoky, grungy vibes to this. It's gonna look messy. That's the point. And then we're gonna make it look cool. Taking a little bit more of Mind Reader, that dark purple, and I'm just gonna run this right on top of what I just did on the lid. I have a very little bit of product, not a lot at all. Just enough to kind of smudge that black out a little bit more. And then I do want to smudge some of this purple on that lower lash line too, just to smoke out that black a bit more. This is looking, I mean, it's still very messy. We are still very much in the process, but I'm liking what's happening so far. I think this is fun. And then again, I'm going to take a little bit more of Lion. Really, I'm going to focus this more so down here because I feel like this is where it's needed the most. But just grabbing more of Lion and just really going to town to soften and blur this lower lash line. Yeah, that's perfect. Just getting it a little bit more blurry. That's really cute. Moving on to some shimmer now. I'm going to start with my NYX Glitter Primer. I am going to grab a little brush. This is a Gavissi G204 brush. I'm just going to grab some of that, and I'm going to tippy tap that across my lids just to get a little bit tacky, prep for shimmer nicely, get it to pop really, really nice, and stay put. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a mixture here. I do want sparkle in the very outer corner, and then I do want Renesmee, Ratatouille, Regurgitate in the middle. And then I do want a lot of Century all over the front. I think I'm gonna pop even more of Lion in the inner corner just for like a matte moment. And then I might actually add a pop of red. I know I said I wasn't really gonna do red, but I kind of want to. I'm gonna start with Sparkle first, just a little bit on that same brush. And I'm gonna pop this basically where the matte is on the lid. I just wanna like add into that. That is beautiful. I love that. Just adding some extra like sparkle to what I've already done basically. I'll kind of blend that edge just to make sure it fluffs into the mattes nicely. Taking Renaissance now on my pointer finger. I'm just gonna pop this kind of a little bit over what I just did and focusing it on the middle of my lid and letting that kind of fade into the rest of my look. And then again, I'll make sure that's like blending into like the rest of this nicely. I love how dark and just smoky this outer corner is. These shimmers are really, really pretty. And then Century on my middle finger. Gonna pop that in the inner corner. Well, not inner corner, but like inner half of the lid. And I just want this to be all over that front half. Just like really Sparkle City. Just kind of going back and forth between those two shades right there to make sure it blends nice. I love that. Oh, I love that a lot. I just think this is really cool. Dare I say, I mean, I know I've only just begun using this palette, and as long as the Team Jacob one is along the same quality, these are for sure gonna be my favorite Glamlite palettes I've ever used, ever. Like I said probably in the intro when I filmed the intro, I've had hit or miss experiences with them. I just feel like their quality isn't always consistent. But this has been an absolute treat to work with so far. I think this is beautiful. I do wanna work on that inner corner now, so I'm gonna take line again. I'm gonna use this little Sigma brush, the E21. Just gonna start working this in the inner corner. I don't need it to be anything crazy. I kind of just wanted it to be a soft, pale purple sort of moment to let the rest of my look kind of do its own thing. I do like this pale purple. I feel like that's a nice shade. And now just for fun, let's add the pop of red. Let's take Edward. I feel like we gotta use Edward. I'm just gonna use that Simply Posh brush I used with the black earlier. I just wiped it off first. And I just wanna press this red right in that front little corner of the lower lash line. Ooh, yes, that is good. That is very, very good. Wow. Yeah, that just took it to a whole other level. Like, what a small detail, but ooh, I feel like I belong in the Volturi now. This is awesome. What is your favorite Twilight character? I feel like I have to give it to Alice, but that's like, I feel like such an easy answer. I've also had a soft spot for Emmett. Don't know why, just love him. I've always loved Seth, the wolf. He's just always so spry and so cute. Honestly, I've always felt for Leah too. Seth and Leah are just like so great. But honestly, I like even the bad characters. Like I like Jane, Dakota Fanning's character. I just think she's so funny. She just wants to cause pain. Oh, I'm feeling so good in this look. I did throw on my lashes. These are the Whisper half lashes from Bright Lashes. And I feel like just that extra volume in the outer corner just really ties it together. And then for lips, I do want to do a red, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with Bad Blood Pencil from Unearthly. Just gonna line and lightly fill in as one does. Oh, it's just such a good red. Honestly, this pencil by itself would be a vibe, but I do want to top a lipstick with it. This is Zangief from the Game Beauty and Street Fighter collection. Not worn this red yet. Yes, that's good. Ooh, that's pretty. Just kind of melting this in with that pencil. Ooh, that is such a pretty red. I like it a lot. Here's look number one. I hope you like it. I love the way this turned out. The sparkly everywhere, the dark outer corner. I'm so happy I added that pop of red because I feel like it just took it to another level. I love this. I'm feeling myself. This is so good. I literally feel like I belong in the Volturi now. Like, imagine I had bright red irises right now. Yes. But yeah, this has been so fun. Let's move on to a completely different vibe for look number two. All right, look number two, as far as my accessories go, this necklace is from Suki Blade, and these earrings I got from a market in Claremont called Serendipity. So yeah, let's move on to look number two. I'm excited. We are gonna dive into this super pretty earthy palette, and honestly, I'm gonna play with a lot of browns today. Like I could do something with like just these greens, you know, like the greeny tealy vibes. That would be very typical Betty Jean, but I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do and play with brown. I do think I am gonna have a pop of this tealy shade, but we're gonna do some brown today, you guys. I do have that highlighter all over again. I went a little heavier handed with it this time, but it's still like just everything. It's so pretty. So I'm going to, again, prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'm just gonna smear this on and blend it out. I think for this look, I'm feeling a full cut crease. I think that would be really pretty. Lots of shimmer on the lid. I might even do a little baby wing with a brown liner because might as well like feed into it. I'll probably put that pop of tealy on the lower lash line, but yeah, it's gonna be good. So yeah, let's start with La Push. It's La Push, baby. I'm gonna use my Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm just gonna start by tucking that deep in that crease all the way from inner. And I'm kind of following the roundness of my eyeball, and I'll kind of relax my eye every so often so I can see where I want to continue this cut crease, because I do like it to kind of extend up and over, kind of in that sort of a shape. I'll just kind of define that a little bit more. Obviously I will be cutting it and cleaning it up, but just want to kind of get the ball rolling. Kind of like that. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck some of this on that lower lash line. I'm just gonna do it all the way from inner to outer. Just gonna smear this down here so we can have a nice smoky lower lash. So I'm gonna blend that out with Pack, this light tan shade. I'm gonna use this E33 from Sigma, and I'm just going to basically start running this right on top of what I just did, just to get it a little bit more blurred and diffused. And once I'm happy with this blend, that's when I'll go through and we'll start working on the shimmer. It's not really gonna be a whole lot of crazy crease work. I really just wanted to get this dark and kind of set the tone. I'm not really gonna incorporate the black. I could. I kind of have a thing about when, especially two palettes in the same collection both have a black, like that's so unnecessary in my mind. But maybe they did it because they just like to have a black in every palette. Some brands and people just like that. But because of that, I'm rebelling, so I'm just not gonna use the black. But you could use the black if you wanted it to be even more like dark and crispy. I'll run this on that lower lash as well, just get that nice and blurred and blended. Okay, moving on to some shimmer now. I'm gonna start with my NYX Glitter Primer. And I have a flat brush here so I can get really deep and tight and get this as, you know, clean and precise as possible. This is an Alter Ego 202 brush. So I'm just gonna kind of plop that across my lid. And then I like to kind of tuck it right in my crease and then follow the roundness of my eyeball. And then kind of just, I don't know, follow that shape that I want. But doing that little motion, I feel like kind of cleans it up a little bit and gets it really prepped for some shimmer. So I want to do two shimmers. I think I'm going to do Guardian mostly for like the cutting part, but then I want the rest of the lid to be Wolf. I think those two bronzy shades will be really cute. So starting with Guardian, I'm gonna pop that right up against that cut. Ooh, that is shimmery. So shimmery. Oh, that is glossy looking. I love that. That's so nice. Taking that all the way up out here. Ooh, that's so pretty. And yeah, I'll kind of cover like maybe the front third of my lid. But for the most part, I want the rest of the lid to be blank. I love how glossy that looks, so that's really, really nice. Okay, taking Wolf now just on my finger. Whoa, that's a good shade. I'm gonna tap that across the bottom of my lid and just kind of bring that up and out toward the end of this look, and I'll fade it out in a second. Just kind of taking it and kind of just tippy tapping out here. And then I'll basically just take a clean, fluffy brush. There's nothing on this. And I'll kind of fluff at the edge of where like that lid kind of fades off so that it's kind of turns into nothing and just kind of blends into my skin. Ooh, look how wet that looks. You see, browns don't always have to be boring. Every once in a while I get a hankering to do it. And today just felt like that day. But you better believe when I do another look with this on like Instagram and YouTube Shorts, I'm gonna be diving right into those green colors. I think they are so pretty, but I wanted to do something a little different. Can't always be predictable. So I am gonna take Telepathy now and do that on that lower lash line. I'm gonna use this little brush from Lethal Cosmetics. It's a 220 pencil brush. And I wanna just press this in the front half of that lower lash line just for a little something extra. That pop of color just really brings it in. I just love a pop of color. I love all the color. I feel like it just made it look so good. Just having that extra little bit of nonsense going on. It just complements so well. It's a really, really good combination here. And then for the inner corner, I was thinking imprint would be lovely. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna use this little Game Beauty brush and just pop that in the inner corner for some extra glimmer. Okay, did my half wing. I just did it off camera because it's so hard to do on camera, but I used the Cocoa liner from Lawless. Just a cute kind of dark brown wing. I feel like it goes with everything nicely. Throw on my Whisper lashes from Bright Lashes, and my eye pencil I decided to use is Spare Time from ColourPop. I just feel like it goes with that pop of teal really nicely. So I'm gonna use the Char pencil from Unearthly. I feel like this shade of brown kind of goes with those darkest tones that I used. I'm just gonna line and mostly fill in. I'll leave a little bit blank for my lipstick, but mostly this. And then for the rest of my lips, I wanna use my Likely Makeup Antique Shop. I just feel like the shade of brown will go nicely with everything I have going on. I'm just gonna kind of dot it in the middle a little bit and kind of blend it into my pencil. Oh yeah, I do like this lip combo. I think that's quite nice. I just knew a brown lip would be the move. It's just perfect. But I love a brown lip, always. Do I want a gloss on top? Because like this is kind of similar to the lid shimmer. This is Frosty Bitch from Half Magic. What if? Yes, glossy brown lip. This was the move. Here's how that second look turned out. I think it's really, really pretty. Like these shimmers are so glossy. And even though again, I'm not really one to play with browns too often, I do really like the way this turned out. I like the shape. I like everything that's going on. I'm feeling really good about it. So yeah, let's zoom out and I'll give you my thoughts so far on these palettes. Thank you so much for watching. I had a blast creating these two looks. I'm so happy I have these palettes in my life. Honestly, they've performed so well, like so far so good. Again, I do want to play with these more again on like Instagram and YouTube Shorts, so just stay tuned. I will be doing additional looks with these. I'm very into it though. I feel like the shimmers are gorgeous. Like I can't get over how glossy everything has looked. The mattes have all blended really well, and I feel like I played with some of the like more tricky mattes in the first palette, and I feel like everything still performed really well. The Team Edward palette was so fun, just very dark, vampy, cool toned, pops of red, very, very cool. It's very dramatic. You're gonna get lots of drama. I love all the different special dark shimmers. Really, really cool. And the Team Jacob palette is just so fun. I love how earthy it is. Like you can do things that are a little bit more soft and like day-to-day neutral vibes, or you can really like lean into more of these like greener tones, or even just like these dark smoky tones, add some pops. This brilliant orange shade, I feel like this one's very versatile, especially if you like those earthier tones. And I mean, the highlighter is just gorgeous, so pretty. I'm happy I threw this one in my cart, even just for the sake of free shipping. I think this was a happy impulse. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. Which palette do you vibe with more? Which of my looks did you like more? I probably have to give it to look number 1 just because it was so cool, but I honestly feel great in look number 2 as well. So it's honestly hard for me to pick. You'll have to let me know what your favorite was. Did you pick up anything from this collection? Do you want to pick anything up? I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? I feel like my heart of hearts has just always been Team Edward, like for Bella, but I do just love Jacob for Jacob. You know what I mean? Like he's just great. But if you made it to the end of this video, leave some emojis that represent either Team Edward or Team Jacob. Give me some blood and vampires, or give me some wolfiness. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN over there. And also you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And if you'd like to, there's a link to my second channel in my description box if you want to hop over there for some additional content. And also in my description box is a link to my channel memberships. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.